The Executive Board.
KBC English Service.
The Executive Board. Economic analysis, perspectives and debates on KBC English Service.
KBC Nairobi.
Wairimu Muhia-Beacco sits in the executive room with experts and decision makers as they share their perspectives on the economy.
The Executive Board is a three-part interview that looks at challenges, solutions to the challenges, and untapped opportunities of growth in each and every sector of the economy. Today on the Executive Board, our focus is on the impact and sustainability of economic activities in prisons. Our guest, the executive, today on the show is the Principal Secretary for State Department of Correctional Services, Dr. Salome Wairimu Muhia-Beacco. You are welcome to the program, The Executive Board on KBC English Service.
Thank you very much, Madam Wamoi.
Who is this Salome Wairimu Muhia-Beacco?
I'm a proud Kenyan citizen. Najivunia kuwa Mkenya. And I am a lawyer by profession. I've been, before His Excellency the President, Dr. William Ruto, appointed me to the position of PS Correctional Services. I was actually a legal practitioner running my own law firm in Upper Hill here in Nairobi for the last 25 years. I come from Kiambu County, but I have grown up and lived in Nairobi, gone to school in Riruta Satellite, lived there, gone to Precious Blood Riruta High School, and then to the Faculty of Law, University of Nairobi, and thereafter I became a chartered insurer, and then I did leadership, a master's in law, leadership and governance, and thereafter became a doctor. I was given an honorary doctorate. I have done very many courses on leadership. Leadership and governance is the thing to go. I am a mother. I have 2 children, 2 adult children, and I'm a wife. And of course, I am a Catholic by religion, by faith, and I am very active in my spiritual sphere because it informs my day-to-day living. It informs the way I do my thing, the way I work, the way I relate to people, the way I govern, the way I lead. So it is something that is very intricately intertwined in my life.
What motivates you to wake up every morning, go about doing your work?
Number one, to give glory to God for the privilege of a new day, the privilege of life, the privilege of good health, because those are not rights. And the fact that I am privileged to be a Kenyan, so I am privileged to serve. The fact that I will go out and I will serve and I will try to do the best of my ability for the common good, that really, really motivates me.
What are some of the challenges you encounter on a daily basis?
Sometimes we operate in a tight fiscal space. Monies are not enough. Sometimes you feel discouraged that work is not going on the way you want it to go, as fast as you want it to go. You have to be patient. You have to keep waiting. And those are some of the challenges. But I must confess that I have a very good workforce. I have a very supportive husband, and my children are equally very supportive. And I have a very good team, actually.
How do you deal with those daily challenges?
One of the things I do is to pray a lot. I always take the view that it is important to consult God daily in terms of what you need to do on a daily basis. He's the one who created me, so he's the one who knows what I ought to be doing every day. And he has said, give us this day, that we tell him, give us this day our daily bread. So I need my daily bread and I need my daily direction. So I will ask him first and foremost to give me direction for today. Then number 2, I am a person who espouses the tenets of order. I love order. And I think perhaps His Excellency must have thought, let me put her in a security sector where there is order. I love order. So I like planning my day because we know that failure is failing to plan. I like meeting my team. In the Department of Correctional Services, which comprises 2 technical units, that is Kenya Prison Service and the Probation and Aftercare, we have a staff force of over 35,000 in the whole country. We have 137 prisons. We have 148 probation, now 49 probation offices. So we are a huge force in the security sector. One of the main ways of handling everything is to meet the people. I meet my officers very often, the directors, the junior officers. I visit the prison stations and the probation stations very frequently. His Excellency gave me this job last year in July. So far, we have visited with my technical team over 75 prisons and over 30 or 40 probation offices. Why do we do this? So that we can enable all the officers to assimilate the mission and the vision of the State Department, which is what? To ensure safe custody, to ensure service delivery in rehabilitation and reform of the offender for purposes of reintegration back into society. So the more I meet them, the more I talk to them. I talk to officers when I meet them, and I encourage them to internalize our mission and vision as a department.
I understand you have traveled widely across the continent. How many countries have you visited?
Globally, not too many, but at least 30. Not too many, but I'll get there.
What lessons can we as Kenyans learn from some of the countries you've visited before?
As Kenyans, we need to be very patriotic. We need to be very, very patriotic. It never serves any good to malign your own nation. Why is that? Because all of us, as Kenyans, were created to be in Kenya. It is the will of God that we are Kenyans. And why did he make us Kenyans? He made us Kenyans so that we can look after Kenya. The countries I have visited the most, which is Italy, because of my family situation, my husband is Italian, they are very patriotic. They are proud to be Italians. They cherish everything Italian. When you hear Italian moccasin, Italian designs, Italian fashion, you think of class, style, standards. They don't have as good a weather as us. We are endowed that we are at the equator. Our weather is favorable. We have good soils. We have an educated lot. We have peace. We have a sense of prosperity. We have so much as Kenyans to be grateful about.
Away from your profile, let's now move on to the topic of discussion, matters economic and business. Our focus is on the impact and sustainability of economic activities in prisons where you work. Our guest is the Principal Secretary for State Department of Correctional Services, Dr. Salome Wairimu Muhia-Beacco.
This is the Executive Board, Economic Analysis, Perspectives and Debates on KBC English Service with Wamoy Masila.
We move on to the first part, looking at the challenges within the prison department. And now we want to understand in a nutshell economic activities being undertaken by the State Department of Correctional Services.
When Kenya Kwanza took over government in 2022, we had this Kenya Kwanza Manifesto. And the Kenya Kwanza Manifesto was in the form of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Key pillars of this economic transformation agenda, whose intent was to spur economic turnaround and inclusive growth through value chain approach. Now, we as correctional services, how do we plug into that value chain approach? There are several ways. When I came into office, I developed what we call the 8 key priority areas that speak into the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. The pillars are agriculture, housing, digital superhighway, creative economy, small, medium, micro enterprises, SMEs, plus universal healthcare. And so we as a correctional services, sometimes we are like a micro government because it has all those components. In our rehabilitation programs, we plug into the economic activities. So in the prison, which are 137 in total, as I said earlier, we have workshops. We have 108 workshops across the country, spread across the country. And in this workshop, we do vocational training for our offenders in areas of carpentry, welding, masonry, mechanics, computers. Now we are introducing repair of phones. We also do tailoring, a lot of tailoring. All the uniform in correctional service is done by us. All the uniform for the staff and the uniform for the inmates is done by ourselves. So we do tailoring, we have bakery, we have karakana, we have cottage industries, and we have beauty and hairdressing as well. What is the purpose of that? Number one is to rehabilitate the offenders, to help them reform, to equip them with skills, so that when they come out, they can be able to become entrepreneurs, they can be able to be self-employed, and they can create employment as well. We work a lot with organizations, so the government does its part, but also to scale up the activities, we work very closely with non-governmental organizations. Additionally, we have what we call prison farms. In these prison farms, we do a whole array of activities, economic activities. We grow tea, we grow the cash crops. The cash crops we grow are tea, coffee, and sunflower. Now we are also introducing cotton. Recently, we inaugurated a model farm in Nyandarua County for production of potato seed. The goal is to produce certified quality potato seed for farmers in Nyandarua, the greater Mount Kenya, and the entire country. Because we do not have, as Kenya, enough potato seed. We have less than 1% of certified potato seed. We train our inmates to produce those potato seeds on a 8-acre piece of land to equip them with skills so that when they get out, they can also use that as a way ya kujikimu kimaisha. In addition to that, we have started a fish farm in Rumuruti. Again, in addition to that, the county government of Laikipia has plugged in to give us the equipment to help us expand those fish ponds. We train the inmates on how to grow fish, and then we also have a factory where we produce fish food. It's a small setup in Rumuruti prison where we produce fish food. Again, to train our inmates so that they can have a variety of skills. His Excellency directed us to generate 100 million tree seedlings annually. And what we have done, we have diversified that directive by increasing the number of acreage in orchards, fruit trees. We grow avocados, mangoes, passion fruits, and we have a whole variety of mangoes.
Would you quantify these activities, the impact they have on the economy?
I think it cannot be gainsaid that for many years people have known that prison furniture is of the best quality. We have what we call the prison farms and prison enterprise revolving fund. The income we make or we generate from what we produce in terms of furniture, in terms of metalworks, in terms of construction, we plow it back. We continue training the inmates. Over the last 3 years, we have trained over 100,000 inmates in terms of vocational training. These inmates, those who are released, go out and start their own businesses. There are quite a number here in Nairobi who do furniture works, who do metal fabrication of gates, doors, windows, etc. You will see them on Jogoo Road, you will see them on Gong Road, you will see them on Outer Ring Road, you will see them in Roiro. Many of them
Those are the
are beneficiaries.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you were to rate the economic activities of the correctional services at a scale between 1 to 10?
Well, I would say we can put it at 40%. And why do I say 40%? I say so because we need to increase the technology. We need to improve on technology. And that is something my office is working on. We have now reviewed the laws on the Prison Enterprise Fund at the directive of His Excellency, so that the laws and regulations are more progressive and they are more tailored towards technology, so that we can be able to compete with China, because that is our greatest competitor. Our furniture is still made for the most part by manually. So now we are buying modern machinery, and I'm encouraging organizations, philanthropists particularly, and well-wishers in the space of agriculture to join hands with us in the space of manufacturing and donate modern equipment. For example, CNC machines, leather machines, modern machinery so that when we train our inmates, they can compete with the outside market. And the wonderful thing is that our inmates are inside there 24/7, so they are not distracted. So what we produce from prison in terms of skill is of the highest possible quality.
This is the Executive Board, economic analysis, perspectives and debates on KBC English Service with Wamoy Masila.
The Executive Board is a 3-part interview, and we have just had the first part of this interview, a topic being impact and sustainability of economic activities in correctional services or prisons. We are glad to host the Principal Secretary, State Department of Correctional Services, Dr. Salome Wairimu Muhia-Beacco. We are looking at the impact and sustainability of economic activities. We looked at the state of the correctional services on economic matters, what also needs to be done. In the second part of the interview, we look at the government reforms in 2024. June came up with a raft of measures to improve the prisons, even to try and turn the prisons into booming industries. What are some of these measures and the progress? Let's begin with the measures.
In July, His Excellency gave a directive. Prison officers will get an increment. We implemented that directive and they got their increment. I'm very happy to report also, we have over the last 1 year, when I took office, been promoting our prison officers and the probation officers. Let me first talk about the prison officers. So we have been promoting them. For many years, many of them had languished in the lower cadre. So we reorganized the system and made sure that all those who had been languishing at the bottom cadre and had worked for many years, 10 years, 15 years, some even 20 years without ever getting a promotion, they did get promoted. We got Exchequer to ensure that all our officers are fully kitted. Like I said, we have industries. We buy material and we make our own uniform and our own inmate uniform. So we have been ensuring that continually we are kitting our officers. We have entered into a program in the whole of the Ministry of Interior to buy armory for our officers, to buy vehicles, which is something that is ongoing, and we are at the tail end of ensuring that they have vehicles. The other reforms we have done is in the probation and aftercare. For many years, probation and aftercare had no reorganizational structure. When I came into office last year, that was the first thing I embarked on, reorganizing the structure of that unit. Many were promoted, and many now have been transferred to work in new stations as heads of stations. I alluded to earlier that we have 148 probation stations across the country. We promoted them, we equipped them with skills, we hired an additional 400 of them, we trained them, we inducted them, and now they are undergoing continuous training to ensure that they are well equipped in their mandate. What is their mandate? The mandate of probation officer is to prepare social inquiry reports about the offenders, pre-bail reports, pre-sentence report, sentence review reports, community service orders reports, as well as impact assessment reports on victims, as well as power of mercy.
You have already trained the offenders. They're economically empowered in terms of they have the right skills. Once they leave the prisons, come out with the knowledge, do you as a department have perhaps groups where they form their own groups and then they can even look for loans and improve their lives?
Thank you very much.
Once they're out of the prison.
One of the rehabilitation programs we have is called Aftercare. The purpose, that is a probation program. The purpose of Aftercare is to precisely counsel offenders in that regard, to encourage them to form organizations. I will give an example of a success story. Some ex-inmates came together and formed an organization called Justice Defenders. These were ex-inmates. These ex-inmates come back to the prison and do vocational training and formal training of the current inmates. Some of these inmates have now been trained as lawyers, through a collaboration with the University of London. And next month, 56 of them will graduate with a Bachelor's of Law. That is ex-inmates giving back. We have very many organizations of ex-inmates working with us on many rehabilitation programs, as well as programs to improve our infrastructure. And I am very, very proud of those organizations. And again, I say thank you. Thank you very much for the collaboration we have. We have the church. We have a Directorate of Welfare and Chaplaincy. We have the Catholics, the Protestants, SDA, and the Muslims. These units, together with the Human Rights Office and the Psychology, Counseling and Psychology unit, are very, very instrumental in taking care of the spiritual and the mental welfare of the inmates as well as the officers.
As we come to a close to this program, there's the third and final part of this interview, untapped opportunities in each and every sector of the economy, looking at the correctional services. What could be the untapped opportunities of growth?
The untapped opportunity is ICT and digital economy. We've already formed a technical unit to digitalize all our facilities. That is being spearheaded by the Ministry of ICT and Information. Another untapped opportunity is our prison funds and the Greening Kenya initiative in terms of landscaping, production of trees. We had a marathon of tree growing from 1st of October that culminated on 10th of October, and we planted across the country a total of 500,000 trees. That is an untapped opportunity because we can do a whole lot more in the Greening Kenya space, in the reducing the carbon footprint. That is also another untapped opportunity. Another untapped opportunity is growth of fruit trees as an economic driver. Another untapped opportunity is increase in cash crop production, particularly maize, rice, tea and coffee. And I'm praying that many organizations can come on board and join us and collaborate with us so that we can even produce for others. And finally, the untapped opportunity is in the construction space of the county governments. We have been collaborating with governors to give us cabro making machines so that we can make cabro for municipalities to be paved, pedestrian walks, access roads, etc., etc. That is an untapped opportunity, and we are looking forward to where county governments can work with my department so that we are able to plug into the construction industry, that we can build stadiums for you, we can build houses, we can build hospitals for you, we can do roads for you, particularly roads, because roads are very instrumental in spurring economic growth.
Taxation matters. It's an area that was looked at to support the country in raising revenue.
Yes. As for correctional services, we have all migrated. We do not accept cash in our industries. We have migrated to the 22222 number. We have introduced financial management systems in the way we operate. That way, KRA can collect its taxes at source.
You're a lawyer. At the same time, you've worked on matters insurance.
Yes, that is true.
What ideas, as far as insurance is concerned, for the correctional services you have in mind, you're likely to bring on board?
One of the things we have done, and this is through the encouragement of the head of public service, is asset management. We have a lot of assets as correctional services, and I think it is essential that all those assets be insured. We are working on that. We have an asset register. In fact, in the last financial year, we won. We were number 3 in terms of the best kept asset register, and we hope to keep at it so that we insure all our facilities, we insure all our people, and obviously we leverage on the technology that we have.
And finally, winding remarks on unemployment among the young people in the country.
I will encourage the young people, be patient with us. The Kenya Kwanza government has been around for barely 2 years. Rome was not built in a day. We are working very hard. I'm sure you have seen, for example, the interest rates have come down. The fuel prices have come down. Obviously, when a new government takes over, there are teething problems. Give us an opportunity. Give us an opportunity to do our thing. We All of us, particularly the government, PSs, CSs, we are working very hard. We are committed. We want to deliver service. And I'm sure His Excellency cannot be said he's the most hardworking of them all. Give us an opportunity, give us the benefit of a doubt, allow us to work. We shall deliver. We shall turn around this country because we are Kenyans and Kenya is our business. All of us have the business of taking Kenya to the next level in the ICT space, agriculture, affordable housing, digital superhighway, creative economy, MSMEs.
Great place to end the program. Kenya is our business. And of course, this is the Executive Board on KBC English Service. Kenya being our business. That is what we focus on, a 3-part interview every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. on English Service. Our guest has been the Principal Secretary for State Department of Correctional Services, Dr. Salome Wairimu Muhia-Beacco. We look forward to hosting you another day.
Thank you, Ms. Wamoi.
Wamoi Masila sits in the executive room with experts and decision makers as they share their perspectives on the economy.
KBC English Service.
The Executive Board is also available as a podcast on www.kbc.co.ke.
KBC Nairobi.